Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks host the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Tonight at 7 p.m., it's soccer night, and kids glow around the bases postgame. Saturday at 6:30, it's Broadway night with postgame fireworks and Broadway rave. Sunday at 1:30, it's Military Appreciation Day, and the kids run around the bases.
A great day out for the entire family. Kids run the bases after every Sunday home game. Want the best seats all season? Get more Ferry Hawks for only $63. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
This is fascinating to me because this is a thing that I keep seeing and hearing. I've done shows across this country in the past on what I called a call to rights, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, all that kind of stuff. But I won't go into too much of that. You, of course, have a very special niche here, and I like it. The book, In Defense of Capitalism. Let me read something, because this is not school time right now. It's not the civics class, but why not give these definitions? Capitalism, and I'll get your term on this too, in your version. The core definition, an economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit. The main features. It relies on voluntary exchange, competitive free markets, and supply and demand to allocate resources. The role of the market. Prices are set by consumers and corporations. Wealth accumulation and innovation are encouraged, which can drive economic growth, but often lead to significant wealth inequality, as this description says. And also the government role is limited, typically focused on protecting individual property rights and enforcing contracts rather than controlling businesses. I've read stuff. But, Doctor, this is so important. I see, in my opinion, humble opinion, so much of a desecration on capitalism here by other forces and other political parties, not to name them, we all know who they are. Tell us your version of capitalism, shorter than what I read.
Yes, I think if you want to distinguish between capitalism, free market economy on the one hand, and the planned economy on the other hand, it's very simple. In capitalism, consumers, entrepreneurs, in the end, consumers decide what to produce and what not, and they decide who becomes rich. For example, if Jeff Bezos becomes rich, it's because our consumers' decision. Every time you buy something on Amazon, you make Jeff Bezos rich. So capitalism is democracy in the economy. We vote every day, and if you Google something, you make Sergey Brin and Larry Page a little bit richer. If you use Facebook, you make Mark Zuckerberg a little bit richer. And I think this is democracy. And in the planned economy, on the other hand, it's the state, the government, who decides what to produce. And I see a negative development in Europe, but also it was in the United States, that we forget about this. That the politicians think that they are smarter than millions of consumers and millions of entrepreneurs. I give you an example from Europe. What happens here? You know, they banned the combustion engine for the automotive industry. It will be forbidden in the future to sell here cars with combustion engine. It's all electric because politicians think that they are smarter than entrepreneurs and they are consumers, of course, all with this pretext of...
But I see this big attack, Doctor, on capitalism everywhere here. Now let's go to socialism. And by the way, these definitions I'm reading, are from an AI generation. So you could also argue pro and con that it didn't include everything, or it did not include this, or it's overly, abusive in this. Socialism, core definition, an economic and political system characterized by social or public ownership and control of the major means of production, distribution, and exchange. The key features: it prioritizes collective welfare, public goods, and the reduction of economic inequality over individual profit. The role of the market: large industries and utilities are typically nationalized, while some degree of private business and market activity may still be permitted. Wow. And the government side of it: significant government intervention, funding, robust social safety nets, and universal health care, elder care, and free education. Here in America, Doctor, as I imagine in Europe, Germany, there's a big move on the socialism side. I don't get it. I mean, why is everybody not wanting to build or create wealth? Why are they demonizing this? I don't get it.
Yes, it's crazy. Even in the main capital of capitalism, New York, and I love New York. I have two partners in New York, and I love New York. And even there, they voted for a hardcore Marxist mayor. It's unbelievable. And, when I wrote my book 8 years ago, The Power of Capitalism, people criticized me. Oh, what are you writing about? Everyone knows that capitalism is better, socialism is dead. You fight the fights of the 70s and forget it. And unfortunately, I was right when I said it will come back, and it came back, and it comes back all around the world. And one reason is because young people, they didn't experience this. They should know it from the history lessons at school, but they don't learn anything about it. And so let me especially one thing that is important for me. They tried socialism in the last 100 years in so many different ways. In the Soviet Union, in another way as in East Germany, in Romania, in Bulgaria, in North Korea, in Venezuela. This was the last time. There were more than 24 experiments with socialism, and they failed without any exception. They failed without any exception. And the last, I remember the last thing was Venezuela. Venezuela was once a time the richest country in Latin America, and by the way, one of the 20 richest countries in the world. Yes. And then they voted for Hugo Chavez, and intellectuals in Europe and the United States were so enthusiastic. They called it the socialism of the 21st century. And what happens now? So today, it's such a poor country. 80% of people in Venezuela live in poverty. And by the way, 8 million flat. It's more than from Ukraine.